Safe and supported spaces create a healthy environment for young people to grow and develop. This includes physical, environmental safety, emotional safety, and socio-demographic safety. When children and youth feel safe and supported, they are more likely to engage in the program, and they are more likely to take risks and step out of their comfort zone, which is an important step for growth and development. Inclusion in critical hours programming ensures that everyone feels valued and respected as an individual. This creates a culture of respect and belonging, which is key in ensuring learning and accepting individual differences. The result is healthy learning environments where children and youth develop skills and build on their individual strengths. Confidence is also developed, which empowers children and youths supporting their present and future success. To create belonging, program staff should serve everyone, engage in active listening and reflection, cultivate a welcoming environment, address community needs, acknowledge the importance of design, think about accessibility. When staff engage in these actions, they are preparing their programs to be a safe and supported space.
We have some members who, when they started with us, you could tell that they didn't feel comfortable. You could tell that they maybe struggle in their personal life and maybe they don't have friends. And now they come every night and they can tell that you care and that you're putting in the effort. And so we see a massive difference in a lot of the ones that come and maybe didn't have much of a support system or much of relationships outside of here. They come here and we're that support system for them, and it's wonderful because you see them go from maybe some concerning behaviors and concerning thoughts and discussions to complete 180, and they're happy and they're comfortable and they feel like they're a part of this place. They feel like they're almost a staff, and maybe they will become a staff. That's the other thing we see with a lot of these kids. A lot of them grow up and age out of the program and they apply for a job because they're not ready to let this place go, or they'll come and volunteer because, again, this is a home for them.
I did programs as a youth, as a kid even, at a community center in an OCH low-income area. And it was actually, when I first started out, it was partnered with Boys and Girls Club at the time. I didn't think I would be able to find something so, family knit. And so when I found Tiger Parks, it was the same feeling times 10, right? So you definitely build more than just work relationships. It's a family style thing that we do here, right? And I think that's what really gets the kids coming and continuing to come and wanting to be here is the environment that we provide them in.
My favorite memory was, it was about a year ago, and they repainted the back of the building and they cleared the wall and they invited all the kids. It was like a games day kinda, and then as a part of a fun event, we get to paint on the back of the wall, and everyone got to put their handprints, and everyone got a chance to write a letter in the words belong, believe, and achieve, which is our little motto at the Boys and Girls Club. So I could remember that being a really good fun thing to do. I got a chance to see how everyone can come together and be one and just not be able to say why can't that person come or why can't this person come? But we all come together and we just have fun and have a lunch, have a dinner, a barbecue, It was really fun to see that come together happen.
I was that was literally them a couple years ago. I was them, So the staff impacted my life very much, And it's they were there from when we were young to when we were finishing school, It was most of the time it was the same staff, and it's I want to experience that too, because it's now that I don't know, there's an attachment, to the youth. I want to see them when they grow up. I want to see how they grow up, everything,
Let's look at key components of safe and supported spaces: physical, environmental safety, emotional safety, and socio-demographic safety. Physical environmental safety is making sure the space is suitable and safe for the planned programming. that the equipment and resources to be used are in good condition and are age or developmentally appropriate for the intended participants. The space should also be culturally reflective of the participants.
The center itself, when we set it up, we always make sure there's nothing like lying on the ground, nothing sticking out that are easy to like fall, trip over, or like anything like that. We have rules with safety between the youth. Like we have this one rule that they're not allowed to have any type of physical contact with each other in the center, whether it's like something small like a fist bump or a high five, because we know that sometimes that can escalate to like pushing, shoving, and like fights. So we just say no physical contact within our center to keep them safe, even if it's just, for fun, or just like, you never know, someone trips, someone falls, someone bumps into something. Outside as well, we have our rules and safety when they're playing sports. Sometimes they can get more aggressive, and then we like let them know like, hey, tone it down, or else we're gonna have to change game or do something else.
So they know here, like, no one's going to put their hands on them. No one's going to call them a bad name, because we're going to have a discussion about that. That's not going to kind of get swept under the rug at all. We really, really, really enforce that respect towards each other, kind words only, and working through things, and not just like hitting or crying or stomping away. Like, we really enforce that communication piece and that problem solving piece.
Emotional safety is making sure the space is inclusive, that staff are consistently providing compassion and care. Working to create an engaging environment supports emotional safety because it invites participants to learn and grow while meeting their individual needs. Finally, consistently checking in with the participants themselves, as well as parents, guardians, supports emotional safety because it allows everyone to reflect and adjust.
The simplest thing you can do to create a welcome environment for all the children is talk to them, engage with them, get to know them, build that rapport, but also keeping those professional boundaries in line, right? So the simplest way is ask them what their name is and remembering their name, and then addressing them by their name every single time you see them. Asking about how school was, how was your day? What went well? What didn't go so well? What do you got planned for the weekend? The important thing here is to be consistent with it. So if you just ask them these questions once in a blue moon, or that one time, it's not really gonna go anywhere. You have to kind of stay on top of it, which can be a challenge if you have lots of kids, but it's also, you gotta take the time to do it all, because that kid needs to feel special, and they need to feel like they're welcomed and that they can come to you for support and guidance should they need it, right?
It's not more of a authoritative kind of stance, we're with the kids, we're here to like give them a good time, help them learn, help them have fun. So I think communication really helps with giving them that safe space.
Sociodemographic safety addresses community needs and vulnerabilities. Program staff should consider how their work provides structure, routine, organized activities, learning, sports, and relationships in the context of the community's needs. This includes having diverse staff who reflect the sociodemographic context of the children and youth. Additionally, programs should work to minimize barriers to program participation by offering or subsidizing access to necessary equipment or resources.
So I feel like it's so important to mention, like you said, diversity in class and include everyone, because all around the world, and especially in our community in Ottawa, there's people that get an advantage of being able to have different resources open to them based on their ethnicity, based on their class. So including everyone, no matter the class, and different diversity and all, like as you said, is very important, especially as what we do in our work here. The majority of participants you'll see are like neglected, are minorities, or are people of like lower class, as people would label us. And so it's important that there is a position and a safe place for them to come and to feel like they are not just minority groups or lower class, like they're just people that just want after school programs, summer camps, swimming lessons, just everything what a child or a youth needs.
So what we do is we try to come from a non-judgmental zone, regardless of any youth's backgrounds or their economic statuses, their family statuses, and any type of, anything that can be judged or a bias against. We throw that out the window as soon as they do come through the door. And we just try to, provide free food for them every day, resources. We have different resources in our resource room, and clothes for them to have, just so they don't feel that gap between other youth who may have more privileges than them. So we try to all level that out with everyone, just so it doesn't feel like a difference in, privileges with other youth or other staff. And even with us, we just wear casual clothes, no designer, try to, just make sure that they feel like, we're all on the same level here, and I get food here, I get clothes, and what's not to have. So for the 4 hours here, anything outside, it doesn't matter. We're all the same here.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion are the steps to creating the sense of belonging that is foundational to safe and supportive spaces. Program staff should be diverse in background and skills, without tokenizing any part of their identity. Staff should take the lead in demonstrating compassion and respect to all participants' beliefs, values, and experiences, facilitating ethical and age-appropriate dialogue that embraces differences without tolerating hate.
There's a lot of different youth coming from a lot of different backgrounds. So we have, families who have recently immigrated to Canada that are coming. So you have youth who are not only new to Canada, but also new to learning the English language. And then we have youth who have been here for years, living here for years, but they all come from different backgrounds.
With diversity, so you could start with our team of staff and also the training that we've done for just inclusion and equity, kind of covering all of those three. We try to diversify with our team of staff, different backgrounds, different expertise, and we really cater to kind of a reflection of the children that we serve as well. So it's kind of for us, by us, you could say. And just inclusivity is something that we do make sure that that's part of our program and that's part of our pillars, as well as seeing that the children, through our actions as well, is something that children are always, in the youth as well, what does inclusivity mean? What does that look like?
Personally, what I feel like we do here at Britannia Woods to ensure that this is a diverse and inclusive space for everyone is to make sure that the mentors that are working here and that are volunteering here and that we have in positions that can make a change are people that look like the kids that are coming to our program. So we have a lot of people of color, we have a lot of minorities, we have a lot of kids with disabilities, anger problems like that. So we try to make sure that they feel seen and heard when they're working with us or they're working with others. So I feel like that's one of the major things that we try to do.
Honestly, just the environment, people here are really friendly, you get a lot of different energy, you get a lot of different personalities, and for me, that's just you get to see all different people, you get to have new experiences. Even here, they have the Black Leadership Program, so we do different stuff, and it's just pretty amazing.
Each program participant will bring with them their individual experiences. If staff incorporate a trauma-aware practice into their work, they will be ready to support participants who may need additional support. Staff can look for cues in body language and facial expressions, lack of engagement or disruptive behaviors, then reflect on how to meet the needs of the individual. Staff should know that their role is making sure the space is safe and supportive, and sometimes that means reaching out for support outside of the program. Additionally, staff should make sure to engage with the greater community to be aware of the needs that may affect multiple participants, and thus care should be taken in planning programming to best suit the needs of participants.
So when it comes to mental health, I find that a program like this actually promotes a lot of our mental health. Playing the sport helps us drop barriers and just be able to communicate more freely with the youth. And after that, now that we're able to communicate and have this type of trust with the youth, they're able to share onto us how they're feeling or how their day's been going and what their ideas, their dreams, and their aspirations are. And obviously, we're just here to encourage them and continue to push them forward into those dreams. So we make sure that we're able to talk to them and they can trust us.
It's not too much of a taboo subject to talk about therapy, right? What does that look like and how many people from marginalized communities need that, right? We often forget that many people, their upbringing there's all different aspects that could impact us to this day and make us who we are, but remembering that everyone carries their own trauma. And when the child or youth does bring up certain topics that are maybe sensitive and we try our best to make sure, again, it's an open dialogue that's happening, but the main thing is that we could see for many of our youth, especially those conversations, it's like their first time discussing this, and they're kind of testing the waters to see your reaction. Like, I may have brought this up to someone else, but their reaction wasn't well, so you're kind of like, are you gonna give me something good? Are you gonna tell me, like, shut me down, right? And you could see there is strength in vulnerability, and that's something that we really try to promote with our actions as well.
They make me feel safe because they're like supportive. They make me happy. It's just there's so much, and they're also supportive, and like they're just good.
It can be tempting to exclude participants from programming to make the space safe for others. Staff should take care to identify how to better support even the most disruptive participants. Using positive and collaborative problem solving supports the individual as well as demonstrates to the other program participants that this is a safe and supportive space for all.
A lot of the behaviors and challenges we deal with some of our kids actually stems from feeling excluded. So that's not something we want to put into place. We rarely ever suspend anyone from program. Usually our approach is more addressing the root cause, see what's actually going on. A lot of times they feel isolated from their friends, from their community, and they just want to be involved, and they express it in potentially violent ways. So we just, teach them that you can express your emotions in a healthy way.
Kids, they're very great at understanding equality. Like, this is, you do this, you get this. You do that, you get that. But in a sense, some people may need extra supports. And we're very, in our group, we're very communicative. Like, we always let the kids know, hey, for you, you may be having an easier time with this. For someone else, there's a lot more steps that are needed in program. So just having that forthright relationship with the kids, not like excluding the kid that may have behavioral issues or just needing that extra assistance, either academic, personal.
Like, we're not really isolating them. We're not trying to make them feel different, because like some kids, they might feel like embarrassed, be like, oh, like other kids don't act like this. Like, I don't want to, like it can get like pretty difficult for them. So sometimes there are times where we kind of step in. If we see them like almost about to do something, we kind of, take that initiative and be like, hey guys, let's switch up the topic, let's switch up the game. It's really, again, just having that connection, knowing like how that kid behaves in certain situations, like how to navigate that. But at the end of the day, like whatever action or emotion they feel or take on, it's never a problem with us. And it's more of just like, what steps can we take to make the situation better for everyone?
As you can see, the pillar of safe and supportive spaces supports programs being places children and youth want to go. Factors in developing this pillar are also woven into the other pillars. Be sure to view the videos on skill development and positive relationships to more fully understand safe and supportive spaces.